Hey, everybody, I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report, and I'm so excited to welcome Jay Allen from The Voice to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. Jay, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Hillary? Good to be on here today.
Well, thank you so much for being with me, and
Yes.
congratulations on your moving blind audition performance of Till You Can't.
Oh,
What
thank
was
you.
your ideal situation, Jay, beforehand as compared to actually what went down on stage?
Yeah. So, I mean, what happened was really a dream on how it went down. I was hoping and praying that it would go down similar to that, but I was actually very surprised and blown away and thankful for how it did. Going into it, that's why I chose that song "Till You Can't." And I don't know if I got to share it, but I actually know the songwriter. I've been in Nashville as a songwriter for 10 years, so I know the guys that wrote that song. And so I had a conversation with one of them, a good friend of mine, Ben Stennis, and he shared with me, which I didn't know, that he had actually, when they were writing that song, had thought of me and me losing my mother, and that was one of the inspirations for the song. Ben, his dad got dementia, and then the other songwriter's mom got a really rare form of a stroke and will never be the same again. So it came kind of from that heartfelt place. And they shared that they had thought about me and my story, and I was blown away because that song went #1 this year in March, I believe. And so we had that conversation, literally just cried and prayed over the phone. I just wanted to do that song justice, but I really feel like that song found me, and I really relate to it because Ben, one of the songwriters, he talked about now that song has changed his whole life and his perspective. He has little girls; they'll wake up on Sunday morning, and he's like, I don't know if I want to go to church, and his little girls will say, "Well, Daddy, till you can't." So that's what the song is about, like making the most out of these moments in our relationships. And I resonate with that so much because I lost my mom to what's called early onset Alzheimer's. She was only 54. So I was hoping to share that story on the show. And I'm really glad they let me. When John Legend asked me to sing my song that I wrote for my mom, Blank Stairs, I was just like, yes, please. The song had a big moment a couple years back when my mom was still alive but very sick. And I brought her on stage at a show I was playing at Iowa. And I just wrapped my arms around her and I told the story and I sang the song. And the guy took a video out in the crowd. He put it up on his Facebook and it got 500 million views. And then we were on ABC World Nightly News and People TV. And that's kind of what, set me on this road to, almost not just create an artistry, but a ministry. So I get to go around and tour, play galas and fundraisers, and I get to raise money to help fight against Alzheimer's. So it's really become such a passion of mine. So when they let me intertwine that story on the show, I was so surprised and blown away. And just the response that we've had the last few days has been really, really special to me and my family.
Yeah, it was an amazing moment to watch as you perform that song Blank Stairs, which has now rocketed to #2 on the iTunes country chart. And as you mentioned, it's already raised millions of dollars to combat Alzheimer's disease. So you must be so proud of that, Jay.
Yes, Hillary, I could not be more proud of it. It started from a place of, pain and sadness, but we turned it into something really beautiful. And, it's social media has been really cool for me. I didn't really understand the purpose of social media in the past until this whole story happened to me. Then I realized my social media has become a place of community and healing for people. And when I play a show, I'll be the last one to leave the venue. I'll talk with every single person. Every stranger wants to lay their head on my shoulder and cry and tell me their story. And that has really become an obligation for me that I do with gratitude. I'm so thankful for it. And now that I can't believe that so many people out there went out and bought that song from hearing it on The Voice. I have so much gratitude towards The Voice, because every single dollar spent, we give back to the Alzheimer's Association. Allows me to go back out on the road. Every show I play, we give money towards Alzheimer's Association as well. So really, really special. Really proud of it.
Jay, let's talk about the fact that on The Voice, this is the first time that Gwen and Blake have competed against each other as husband and wife. So,
Right.
how tough was it for you to choose which one of them to go with?
Going in, I had already, for a couple different reasons, decided that I wanted to choose Gwen if I had the opportunity. Number one, my soon-to-be wife told me I had to choose Gwen. So I'm getting married in 9 days. So it's kind of cool to like be prepping to get married, and then like being in front of a newly married couple is really special. Um, but it was a hard choice once Blake turned around, because I live in Nashville and Blake Shelton is country music. Every time I come off the road, I walk to the airport and everything's Blake Shelton. You know, everyone loves Blake Shelton. So when he turned around, I was like kind of, like leaning towards him, and then I had to stick to my guns. It's because, my mother, the way my mother raised me, I got to experience the love of a beautiful and powerful woman. And now I have a wife that Kylie Morgan is my soon to be wife. She's a successful country artist, and she's signed to EMI, just had a song go to country radio. And so I've really been affected by powerful, beautiful women. And I see Gwen as that, especially in the music industry. If she can do what she's done for so long and, retain that level of success. Kylie's little sister is 17 and loves Gwen Stefani, which is so cool to me. So I just think there's a lot to learn from powerful, strong, beautiful women. So that's ultimately why I chose Gwen.
Hey, I love to hear that. And I also loved seeing your fiance and your dad watch you, and they were so proud. But I also wanted to ask you, what are you most looking forward to on this journey on The Voice?
I'm looking forward to continue to help people with music. I always talk about how I didn't really understand the power of music until I saw how it affected my mother, and how I've seen our story in the song Blank Stares affect others and bring so much healing. So I'm excited to share more of that story and to dig in more to that, and to ultimately, like, I, I'm not really interested in being famous. I'm interested in helping others. So if I can do that through this show, that's what matters most to me.
Oh, Jay, that is so wonderful. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out to be with me today. I want to raise a toast to you, Jay Allen, and your continued success on The Voice.
Thank you, Hillary. What a pleasure.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.